This is your activity talk for the week. This week we're going to be talking about whole body learning. What do I mean when I say whole body learning? I'm talking about teaching to the whole child, their mind and their body. This is really important because when we are teaching our students, we want to tap into not just their intellectual selves, but also the physical, the emotional, and the mental aspects of them. This is important for their development as well as for their well-being. So let's get started. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Dr. Tracy Scapestra, and I am the CEO and co-founder of Embodied Learnings. So whole body learning is something that you are probably already doing. If you are getting your students out of their seats and having them move, having them work in groups to be more engaged while they're learning, that already is a step towards whole body learning. So whole body learning can be thought of as being very hands-on. It's experiential, it's multisensory. It might even be about being outdoors in nature and having a new perspective. But what makes it so integral to the ways that students learn is that it really helps them stay more engaged, they have more fun, their mind is more active because when our bodies are actually invested in what we're learning, then we are more connected to how it is that we're thinking and processing and questioning. So whole body learning really just enables students to be in the learning in very, very different ways. And of course, that can look different for younger students versus older students. So the first key thing that I think is important to point out is that whole body learning is really about spending less time sitting quietly at desks and actually being physically in the experience of learning. So that may look like getting out of the desk or doing something where students are really actually using their hands. So there's a movement in play where they might be using manipulatives in math, or they might be working with others where they're building structures, where they're actually using their hands and they're using their bodies to place things in, build and construct. So it could be something simple or something more expanded, but it is really a lot less of the traditional teaching of pencil to paper and much more using the whole body to have the experience of the learning process. So you should be able to look at your students and really be asking, how are they learning from an intellectual perspective? Is their body included? Is there a physical aspect? Can they tap in emotionally to how they're feeling in this moment? And then again, is it really supporting their mental well-being, which is their engagement and their desire to be there and have fun and be in community and to collaborate? So, for example, the next thing is whole body learning can also be about being outside. So learning off the land, just really exploring through the full senses through the outdoors. There's so much that can be done by going on a walk and learning about the different plants and the vegetation through science, or looking for symmetry and patterns, for example, in math, or just even reading outside, having your classroom be more engaged outside so that you can be more heightened to what you hear, what you smell, what you feel. So again, all the senses are involved. So that's another thing. The arts also really supports whole body learning because it helps students to learn in different ways. So again, by integrating dance or drama or visual arts and music into the class, that stimulates the body in some way, because often to be involved in an artistic way, which is very creative and imaginative, we actually do get students working in groups. And we get them out of their seats and we get them really involved in critically thinking and problem solving. And that could be simply by putting together a tableau or recreating a scene from a novel. So there are many, many ways in which you can tap into the whole self of the student through whole body learning. Now, there's not a ton of research on whole body learning, but it is starting to be one of those things that is gaining traction. And we do know that when we ourselves have had experience as students where we have, perhaps learned about atoms by being a proton or a neutron or an electron in a science class, we actually remember. I can remember when I was a young student and we had to do multiplications through various physical exercises like jumping jacks and push-ups and sit-ups. And it made those onerous tasks a little bit more fun because there was a counting thing involved, but it actually made me remember the counting. So that's probably not the best example. I have a feeling you could do something a little bit more fun than that, but you get the idea that the other thing about whole body learning is that it really takes the learning, and it's not just that it's going in one ear and out the other or sitting here until we do a test and then we forget, but that it somehow gets stored in our memories, which is very much in our bodies, because what we remember is really connected to our emotions and how we feel. So when your students are having a wonderful time and they're really being inquisitive and they're thinking, and then they go home and they share with somebody in their family, or they're excited to share with you what they've learned, you're really hitting upon this concept of whole body learning and what it is. So it could be called by multiple names, but regardless, when you're teaching and you want an approach that could really make an impact of your students, think about how are you teaching to the whole self, the intellectual, the physical, the emotional, the mental parts of your students, so that their learning goes to the next level. So I hope that was helpful, just to think a little bit. What kind of things are you already doing? I would love to know. What have you found to be really successful? Also, we have a blog on our website that talks a lot about whole body learning, and we break it down by subjects. So we talk about how can you do it in math, social studies, and science, and language arts. And we give you some ideas. So that's a great place where you can go and actually read some things about ways that you can bring whole body learning into every subject across the curriculum. I hope this was useful. Again, if you're not have not been to our website, it's www.embodiedlearnings.com. We always look forward to your feedback, any comments. Reach out. Until next time, I wish you a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.